Headlines. Herders kill 1, injure 14 in renewed Taraba farmers clash. Catholic priests, 4 others abducted in Taraba. Boat capsizes with over 100 passengers in Taraba. And on the foreign scene, Palestinians break into Gaza UN aid warehouses as toll tops 8,000. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. Herders have killed 1 person and injured 14 others in a renewed crisis between farmers and herders in Yelwa Abare community of Aridakola local government area, Taraba State. The crisis started after a herder took his cattle into rice farms, which destroyed huge sections of the field. Narrating his audio, one of the victims of the crisis, Haruna Yusuf, said they were harvesting rice when a herder came to pass through their farms with his cattle, but they prevented him from doing so because there was no cattle route through the farms. But the herder insisted and pushed his herds into some portion of the rice farms that have not been harvested. Yusuf stated as a result, a crisis ensued between the herders and farmers in the process. A herder cut off a finger of a farmer and hit another on the head, which led to a pandemonium. The victim said majority of them escaped into the bush, and the lucky ones went to Yewa Abare village, while the wounded were left unattended. Still on security matters, gunmen in the early hours of Sunday invaded the Reverend Father's rectory of St. Anne's Parish, Sarkin Kudu, and the Ibi local government area of Taraba and abducted Reverend Father Thaddeus Tahembe. In a statement by Reverend Father John Jerome Laike, Director of Communication, Catholic Diocese of Wukari, on behalf of the Bishop, Most Reverend Mark Nzukwe, explained that the priest was abducted at the Reverend Father's rectory of St. Anne's Parish, Sarkin Kudu, by yet identified armed men. According to the statement, the Reverend Father is a priest of St. Anne's Parish, Sarkin Kudu, Ibi local government area of Taraba State. 4 kidnapped victims have been rescued at different locations in Katsina State. The victims regained their freedom on Saturday following a joint operation by police operatives and the Nigerian Army during a routine patrol along Dankolo village in Dandume local government area of the state. Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, saying the victims have since been reunited with their families after undergoing medical examinations. He said the State Commissioner of Police, Abubakar Musa, commended the professionalism displayed by the collaborative team during the rescue operation, stressing that the fight against all forms of criminality in the state continues with unwavering determination and vigilance. The Police Commissioner asked the good people of the state to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious activities or individuals to the nearest police divisional headquarters. With a view to foster unity in their community and overcome the challenges facing them, the Kotb ethnic nationality in Takum, Usa, and Yantun development area has called on the state government to intervene in solving the problem bedeviling their traditional council. Let's take a look at the report.
The Kotb ethnic nationality, known as Inditriquen or Zomfere, is believed to migrate from Egypt into the interior Africa under a leadership of their king called Kotb in around 1000 BC. History has it that they moved into the Central Africa and eventually to West Africa through Cameroon and into Nigeria, settled on the hill, which is now called Takum. The first paramount ruler of Kotb in Takum is Ali Ukwe Ibrahim, who becomes Ukwe of Takum since 1912 and died in 1996. According to John Irashi, the Assistant Secretary General, represented by the President, said the unity and peaceful coexistence is all they need to sustain between them and their neighbors. Irashi said there has been uneasy calm in the area since the demise of Ukwe of Takum in 1996, adding that the situation became more worse when some tribes that are not from Kotb community were made kingmakers. Also speaking on the issue, Professor Ishaku Pichinodu of Modibo Adamawa University of Technology Yola said he is not aware of any society where 2 or 3 tribes come together and make one tribe a king, sidelining the others.
Lack of paramount ruler, the youth, the younger ones, don't respect the elders again. And there's disarray, clannish differences. As we have highlighted in the paper, the Kotb is not a tribe, it's a nation with many tribes, 12 tribes. So the problem that we're facing now is having our traditional ruler, that is the paramount Ukwe in Takum.
Speaking on behalf of the Kotb youth, President Kotb Student Union Dambaba Mfulani Raymond said to promote cordial social, political, economic and cultural relationship between Kotb and other nations, certain things need to be reviewed to foster unity and promote love so as to live together as brothers. He also decried security challenges bedeviling the community, adding that a village less than 7 kilometers to Yusa local government area has been attacked by bandits. Worried over the development, Professor Esther Baba Shamaki lamented what she called deterioration of traditional leadership of Takum since the demise of Ukwe of Takum in 1996.
We're trying to tell them how peacefully we are, but today as we speak, our entire village, our entire nation, to be precise, Takum, Osa and Yangtu Special Development Area, we cannot sleep with both 2 eyes. The society of these days is not favorable to us. We've been sleeping, we've been thinking, we've been running up and down. As we speak right now, our people are not at home, particularly myself in my own hometown, my village where I was born and brought up. Just 7 kilometers away from the headquarters of the local government. I cannot be sleeping there now. Why? Because of the bandits interrupt our village. They don't give us the peace to stay. Well, we were hoping and we were believing that we are the peace-living people. We love people living with us and we love interacting with people. But
very, very important for us to have that social media. But the use of the social media be used in the good way. If it's used in the wrong way, it doesn't help. And most of the students use this in social media. When they use it, it affects their studies. Some of them, they use this in social media. Even in the classroom, you see them, they're chatting with their friends in WhatsApp. And they will not even pay attention.
The community called on federal, state and local governments to intervene in fixing the problem for peace to reign among Kotb Nation and their neighboring tribes.
The Taraba State Independent Electoral Commission said it has begun preparation for the conduct of the forthcoming chairmanship and councillors election for the 16 local government areas of the state. The report.
Local government election was last conducted in Taraba State during the administration of late pharmacist Dambaba Damfulani in 2008 when Honorable Ali Sani Kona was declared winner of Jalingo local government. Since then, no election was conducted by previous administration, a situation the present governor, Dr. Agbu Kefas, said has brought setback and denied the citizens' right to vote for the candidate of their choice to oversee the affairs of the local government. This necessitated his directive to the Commissioner, Taraba State Independent Electoral Commission, TSIEC, Dr. Due, to prepare for the conduct of council's elections. Speaking on the level of preparation, the TSIEC chairman told newsmen that all arrangements have been concluded, adding that both the sensitive and non-sensitive materials required for the election have also been produced, calling on political parties to field candidates for the 18 November chairman and councillorship election in the state. He ensured the citizens of free, fair and credible election. Leadership of political parties in the state said preparations are in top gear for the election as significant number of aspirants have registered awaiting for the scheduled date for primary election.
And we're going to disseminate to them not verbally but in writing. Okay, and we want to use the IPAC chairman, the Inter-Party Advisory Council. He supervises all the political parties, and we intend to do that so that every party will have this information in writing. And we intend to conclude it, hopefully, God willing, this week. We are ready because the materials like sensitive, non-sensitive materials, we cannot sit here and procure them.
All Progressives Congress APC chairman Ibrahim Tukur El-Sudi called on TSIEC to be fair and just to the electorate by declaring actual winners of the election.
It is one of the reasons I came back to Jalingo. I came in today to organize the election that will take place on the 18th of November. That is the local government election. It is the exclusive preserve of Taraba State Independent Electoral Commission under the Taraba State Electoral Law 2002.
Well, as a party, we have issued notification to our local government chapters in regard preparation for the local government election. We try to align them with the programs as released by the State Independent Electoral Commission. There is that mobilization that is ongoing. People have indicated interest for the chairmanship position in the 16 local government areas.
We are fully prepared because as I'm talking to you, we have aspirants almost all the local governments, and we have it in Jalingo as we speak. So we are fully prepared on the forthcoming election.
The National Industrial Court sitting in Owerri, the Imo State capital, has issued an extended interim injunction restraining the organized labor from embarking on any kind of strike in Imo State. Both the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress are further ordered not to embark on Occupy Imo as planned until the next adjourned date. Justice Nelson Ogwanya gave the order after hearing the submissions of the Attorney General of Imo State, Cyprian Akaolisa, who approached the court to grant an extended interim order against the defendants in view of their fresh threat to embark on strike through Occupy Imo. The defendants are Nigeria Labour Congress and the Secretary General, Comrade Emmanuel Ubaja, and the Trade Union Congress and the Secretary General, Comrade Nuhu Toro. Their argument was hinged on an affidavit by which the first defendant, which is the NLC, by a letter dated 16th October 2023, is currently mobilizing its members from the southeast and south-south for a strike to occupy Imo from November 1, 2023. After hearing from both counsels in the suit, the court granted the order of extended interim injunctions restraining the defendants from embarking on any strike in whatever guise. The court warned against the disobedience of its order, saying that it will attract consequences. The court adjourned the matter to November 3, 2023 for either hearing or report of settlement. Now, an engine boat carrying over 100 passengers capsized mid-water at Benue River on Saturday. The boat, it was gathered, left Mayorenio local jetty at about 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, carrying the passengers with their loads to Benue town across the River Benue, but it capsized 40 minutes after sailing. A resident of Mayorenio, simply identified as Musa, said it was the same engine boat that ferried the passengers from Benue to the Mayorenio town, but unfortunately involved in the mishap while going back to their town after attending the market. The acting chairman of Inland Water Transportation in Taraba State, Jida Mayorenio, said about 15 bodies were recovered close to the scene where the boat capsized. The Taraba Police Command spokesperson, Superintendent Usman, said he is yet to receive report of the incident. And now to another sad development. President Bola Tinubu has condoled with the government and people of Kogi State on the passing of the revered traditional ruler Ohinoyi of Ibira land, His Majesty Dr. Ado Ibrahim. The president said the death of the Ohinoyi is a painful loss, describing the late monarch as peace-loving, affable and cerebral. In a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Chief Ajurin Galale, the president said the Ohinoyi of Ibira land was in a class of his own. President Tinubu described the late monarch as highly respected and admired for his deep insights, wisdom and sophistication. According to the statement, the late Ohinoyi had a masterful way of handling issues. He was very knowledgeable and wise, praying that Almighty Allah will grant His Majesty Al-Jannah Firdaus. President Tinubu also asked the good people of Kogi State to take solace in the legacy of peace and fellowship left behind by the late monarch. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at residents reacting to the declining number of ceremonies. Details of this story and more to come. We'll be right back.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV. Try grating it. I am going to show you how to prepare a Singaporean chicken rice. Like this. Back here and get my carrots ready. Put in some amount of oil on the skin. I will now go ahead and take off the chicken, spread it to a desired shape.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you in itself.
Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent developments shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back and thanks so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is a news update on Trust TV. Now let us take a look at a recap of some of our major stories. We told you that herders kill 1, injure 14 in renewed Taraba farmers herders clash. Catholic priest, 4 others abducted in Taraba. And now moving on to other stories. The Suleja Area Council in Niger State has promised to make the area a trade-friendly environment, announcing the suspension of some levies against some certain transporters. The report.
Recall that Trust TV reported on how some traders lamented during an interview about the activities of various task force officials as well as thugs who they accused of harassing their visitors or motorists that convey their imported goods. Following the report, the council, under the leadership of its chairman, Isiaku Bawa Naibi, held a meeting with the concerned stakeholders in the sector comprising traders, transport unions, as well as the officials of the Niger State Transport Management Agency, NISMA. Haruna Garba Kaninko is the Chief Press Secretary to the Suleja Council Chairman. He speaks on the development.
Following the report by the Trust TV, the local government, the Honorable Chairman of the local government immediately constituted a mini committee headed by the Council Secretary with the instruction that he should go around all the entries and exits here in Suleja to ascertain those who were and they've gone around, they've screened them, and all those task force that were considered by one trading order were cleared of the road. We passionately appeal to them to consider Suleja as their home, that all the observations and the complaints were properly addressed. Now Suleja is trade friendly. They can come into Suleja without any form of molestation. The Honorable Chairman has vowed to make Suleja as a very friendly environment.
He said following the report, Chairman of the Council personally held meetings with all stakeholders primarily responsible for blocking the road and causing molestations that Transport Union are complaining of, and cautioned them on the need to be professional in conducting their duties. The State Commander, Niger State Transport Management Agency NISMA, Mohammed Awal Atijo, said the agency has reduced the number of checkpoints scattered across the Suleja zone, with officials being directed to operate only around junction corridors with the aim of preventing traffic violation around there.
The local government is very much aware of this allegation, and that some few weeks ago, the Honorable Chairman of the local government, Honorable Issa Koba Naibi, held a meeting with the officials of the transport unions and the members of the Niger State Transport Management Agency, NISTA, who primarily were responsible for blocking the roads and causing all these molestation that the transport union are complaining.
Which he identified as one of the causes that leads to the unnecessary traffic buildup. The NISMA commander called for the motorists' understanding by cooperating with the officials, especially when being ordered to stop. This, according to him, is aimed to make transportation safer, as well as check the people with questionable characters on the road.
Weekends, apart from presenting an opportunity for many to relax after a long working week, offers others time to engage in other leisure activities or attend social functions such as weddings, which are mostly planned for the weekend, specifically on Saturdays. Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, usually comes alive almost every weekend due to several weddings, with some residents attending 2 or 4 weddings in a day. However, with the economic downturn in the country, there is a lull in attendance at such events, as many are unable to move around easily due to the cost implications. Trustee Vice Bitrus Kurutsi has more.
Weddings are special ceremonies where intending couples formalize their union. Such ceremonies are significant for the couples and are usually attended by friends, family members, colleagues, as well as well-wishers. These ceremonies often peak during the Ember month. However, despite the Ember month, weddings in Maiduguri are declining, as very few weddings now hold.
In those days, street by street, if you go, you will see, frequent marriages are conducted, things like that. There is no job. That is where people not really participating in marriages.
Like every Saturday, you will hear like 10 weddings, 50 weddings, but now people are no longer getting married like before. I attend like 3 weddings, but now even 1 wedding, sometimes you will not attend.
As you see, like this October season to November, December, you will see crashes of weddings here and there. But now, few, hardly to have a wedding like today.
There was a time I saw the statistic online that a wedding in Maiduguri happens in a single day, almost up to more than 235. That I think that was 2020. I saw that statistic and I was shocked and surprised.
That means content is a calling from God.
Geoffrey Ishaya, an event MC, is a member of a popular online platform that hosts ceremonies like weddings, seminars, and others in town. He recalls when he and his colleagues were outnumbered by weddings almost every weekend. He attributed the situation to the economic hardship and unemployment in the country.
On the platform, I always see 5 weddings happening in Maiduguri, which is not a good one. unlike when we used to have 30, 25 a day. About 70 to 75% of the MC are sending requests as to whether if someone has a clash, so that he will give him one. And to some extent, some of the MC use it as their means of survival.
The economy hardship, even during the insurgency, you can find marriages going on more than now because of the economic hardship.
For some, the times may be hard, but they hope to get married even next year. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
And now away from Nigeria, the United Nations Relief Agency says thousands of Palestinians, desperate due to 3 weeks of total siege and bombing, broke into several of its warehouses in the Gaza Strip, taking wheat, flour, and other basic goods. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Sunday repeated appeals to end the bloodshed and agree on a ceasefire to end the nightmare. Israel imposed a total siege, no food, water, electricity on the Palestinian enclave of 2.3 million people in the wake of the Hamas attack in Israel. Israel has allowed limited supplies of basic necessities and medicines. Efforts are underway to get more supply of food, water, and fuel and medicine in the enclave that has been under intense bombing since October. With that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.